Hello,
Hello, bonjour. Sorry for the delay. We had a
little technical difficulties. It's an interesting day here in Southern Cal, the greater Los Angeles area, because we have a thunderstorm going on.
Yes.
Which I kind of like the idea of it because of what we're talking about today. We're talking about sound healing. You know, we talk about energy medicine, but sound is like the original medicine of all things. Like our ancestors used drums, like, you know, always to heal the mind and the body.
Mm-hmm.
And also environmentally, noise and using things scares away, so to speak, inside of you and around you. So I think of, you know, the rattles, like we talked about, like, you know, having these rattles, you know, again, you don't have to overcomplicate it, but when you think about sound healing, music is therapy. Musicians know this.
Mm-hmm.
They already know that sound heals. So this idea that sound is becoming part of the new medicine, the new way to heal. But I love these shakers.
Always, if you have something in your house, usually that's what we were wanting to say. Take what you already have.
Take what you already have.
And of course, music, most of the people will listen to music. So,
well,
like
people say, when they, you know, sound baths are very popular, and I say they're popular for a reason, because they work. They literally shift energy, and the more you sound bathe, like anything else, you go to the gym, you have to work out consistently and regularly. The more you sound bathe, the quicker. Hi, welcome everybody.
I know, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I'm happy to see more people.
Yes, jumping in on the conversation.
Thank you so much.
So
I agree. And sound, like you say, it's always with us. It's been here.
It's been here. It's been our voice. You know, I know in yoga, Om is like the original primordial sound that gave birth to our voices, our lives. So I love sound. I accidentally stumbled on becoming a sound practitioner. I say accidentally because in my yoga classes, this is going back 23 years ago, when I started teaching yoga, and I always played music. So back in the day, there was a controversy. Half the teachers played music, half were purists, like absolutely not, no music in yoga.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then if they played music, it was the typical, the classic, spiritually laced or kind of, you know, meditative music. But I was playing Coldplay, I was playing Aretha Franklin.
Nice.
Because I was using the emotion of music. When emotion flows, it allows you to release. So
the emotion
again,
of music, I like that.
The emotion of music. So when you're listening to, so sometimes when you're sad, you may put on a song that makes you even sadder. It sounds weird, but it forces you to cry and release and bring up that energy. So
it's right. So
when I, you know, the singing bowls and all of that, I had never, as a practitioner, most of my yoga teacher friends had the crystal bowls or the singing bowls, and I just was never connected to owning one until I was at a yoga event, it was a yoga conference, and I saw the crystal tone singing bowls, which I left mine in the back there, but when I saw, I was like, what are those? And so my new love is Tibetan bowls, because
I love this one.
It's so rooting and so grounding, and the resonance on these things, and it goes on and on and on, but this is something I use in my acupressure sessions, you know.
Exactly, that's what we wanted to say, how to incorporate sound healing, and in your acupressure or with craniosacral massage therapy, naturally we incorporate the sound healing with as well certain tools, and we have the tuning forks that you use in acupressure are used for cranial bones.
Cranial bones, yeah.
Depending on which one you choose, you want to show yours?
So, you know, the tuning fork, they're amazing because you can feel the vibration going through the body, but you can also use it in the air around the client, you know, as well. So when I started adding tuning forks to my sessions, the client experience just went through the roof. So thank you to Katya, to not to Katya, I'm sorry, to Mimi, to Roy, to Celia, to Ellie, some of my first clients who allowed me to open up my hands, because I hadn't practiced acupressure in a few years, and you have to get your hands hot and get your energy flowing. So some of my early sessions, I was not adding a lot of sound and scent, so I've since added sound and scent, and I've incorporated the tuning forks. That's one of the newest things I've incorporated. These are based on the chakras. So when I use them, I have them all out, ready to use on the client, but I always go intuitively what I need to use for. So I had a lady the other day, I thought I was going to use at least 5 tuning forks. I ended up using 3. I went with energetically what was coming up for me for what she needed for that session. Now in your work of the craniosacral,
so in the craniosacral, I took an amazing tuning fork sound healing with a teacher that is, for me, a master of using the tuning fork for cranial bone and sacrum. And same principle, you use, you make the sound, and you use those one. This one is, this is the one for the crown, and put it wherever the patient on the table, the person needs it.
Yeah.
But he was saying with sound, you allows the cranial bones to be having to have a vibration.
Yes.
And like you said, when you felt you go with the intuition of you and the person.
Yes.
But you can start moving the forks around the body and all over wherever it's been called.
Yes,
so I like tuning fork as well. It's simple. And resonate with most of the people. And again, if somebody doesn't connect with them, we can use
something else. But what I love about it, like this, like I think the color is the theater, but it's the numbers that resonate. These are tuned to a certain sensory or megahertz, as it's called. So the red is theater, to just so you know that you're grabbing the root chakra. But this is tuned to 194.18. So musicians, again, know this, you understand this, but I love how sound, you see people literally transform when you're playing sound or music. So adding tuning forks is really up-level the session.
And some resonate so true with your cranial bones, which is 432 megahertz. And there's one, I don't remember the number, resonate totally with your heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again,
532 or 428.
Nice.
We're getting scientific here.
No, but it's good because it's the knowledge of what's behind a sound and how we can use it in our own practices.
And because I do sound baths, it always is so interesting to me. No judgment or criticism, but people say that have never tried, they go, "What's a sound bath?" To me, you're bathing in sound. And so you could bathe yourself. So the idea is, especially when you're stressed, when you're worried and you're healing, it's so important and impactful. Like whenever you're recovering from something or passing through, music and the environment works as medicine. One of the things that I love, this little thing, I call it a chime, but I also do something to start the session and also to close the session.
Nice.
So in the client's mind, they know that we are beginning and we're ending. And I also let them know that I'm doing this. So I have a method that I do, but it's just this simple tone. I move this usually around the body and around the client. It's just so simple. It's like, I hate to say it, simple, stupid, but it really works. I've seen people shift just by me doing this. And it signals, just like any kind of ritual, it's the beginning and the end. So that end moment, once they've gone through the session, they've rested and da-da-da, when they get up. When I ring this, you can see that their bodies has shifted again. Yeah.
It's a good signal. And anything we can use at the beginning or the closure of the session. I like the little chimes.
And these are by the elements. This is, you got the earth in your hand.
And again, around the session, you use it one at the beginning, one at the end, or then when you feel
or sometimes even at the start, like when someone's going through a lot, when people have a lot going on, I start with this because these are very soothing. Before I even touch their body, you start with, I learned this from a Mayan healer. Depending on what the person is going through, how much pressure you're going to apply, where you're going to touch them, but truly it becomes a fascinating work. I mean, your work is all about intuition. You've taught me about this cranial sacral fluid,
and again, because we have our own practices, and we can use all those elements, the pressure, all of this is helping us to guide the session. Yes.
So like you apply different methods, you said, like even
techniques,
different techniques. And one of my things is that I always want to ask the client to make sure they're relaxed and comfortable. It's like, don't hesitate to say, because I'm not rubbing and moving, I'm sustaining the pressure in one area of the body. Mm-hmm. So sometimes what I explain is, again, it's all intuitive as you start getting into the flow. One side I might hold for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. One side it's 1 minute. Do you ever find that
you and this is what it is. You're present with the person with you at the moment. You're listening to their whole body. That's what we're both doing. Mm-hmm. And I could say it becomes a dance and a movement together. Yes. And we are finding their own healing mechanism.
Because each one has a different mechanism triggering point, right?
So, of course, we've learned techniques and protocol, and it would be spend half of the time here, half of the time here. But at the end, because we have been doing this for over 20 years together, we can have a dance with all of that. And again, incorporating different tools. Like we have the sound, we can do cupping, you can...
do you play music? And you play music in the background of the session,
I was going to say, actually, like you with your sound bath, sometimes I ask the client, what would you like to play if you have your own music that's going to help you?
That's the tip of the day. I love that. With our modern technology, we just Bluetooth it in.
Exactly.
I'm going to take that idea. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
It never even occurred to me. I always feel like I'm responsible for setting the tone. But to your point, I think that's brilliant because we all resonate with something different. Wow.
Yes, and as you said at the beginning, sometimes you have this emotion, and it could be joy or sadness, whatever emotion at the moment, and the person will pick a song that's going to help them to transform the pain or the trauma or whatever they go through. So yes, we are playing with all of that.
Thank you for that. That is huge.
Thank you. And it's good. It's again, it's
why we have these conversations. Right.
And thank you. And I love those moments because we learn from each other.
We do. We sure do. We sure do.
And your gong.
I love the gong.
That's actually gong.
Yeah, the gong is interesting because what I found too is instruments have a life of their own. And it's a reflection of who shows up in the circle. Mm-hmm. So like, I have a sound bath coming up on Thursday night if you're in the area.
Tomorrow.
Oh my God, tomorrow.
I love it.
But I've always noticed that the participants also participate in the sound bath. They don't realize how much they contribute with their energy. And my crystal tone bowl, some days some of the bowls don't want to play. They get tired like we do.
Yes.
Pardon me, but that was the point of talking about it. Sometimes I play the gong and it doesn't want to strike. It's striking too deep. It's striking too loud, too tinny. But these instruments, like this gong has been
They have
hanging.
a
She
life.
hasn't been played in a while.
They
So
need
I'm
to be
definitely
played
going to have to play her out,
tomorrow.
like tonight, tomorrow, before the sound bath.
Yes.
Because, like we say, everything is a form of energy. And we forget this isn't just a metal piece, this is alive. So
You need to warm her up.
I need to warm her up. So I've been in sessions where it's just like, I hit it, I'm like, doesn't sound that great,
But hit it at all.
but it's just so sacred. And, you know, when I was first learning to play the gong, I way overplayed it. I mean, it was ridiculous. But we learn, we grow, you know, you just keep expanding. You know, she actually sounds really good. She actually sounds really good. You made a monkey out of me, huh?
No, she's talking to you.
No, she's in sync. She's ready to go.
But this sound, and you see how close, everybody can close their eyes.
Wow, she's good to go.
She's good to go. And there are songs for each of us which resonate. This gong for me, when you played it the first time, it resonates in my body. It anchors something. It does something. I love it.
There's different types of gongs and things. You know, there's a gong I have my eye on that I want someday. But they also, gongs now have different frequencies, just like tuning forks, just like chimes. It's an amazing, amazing world. I want to talk about two more things because every time I use this, I get questions about it.
Yes.
The Love Tuner. I think you asked me about
And I'm
this
going to
because
get
we
one.
use this in the full circle.
We did. We used that in the full circle.
We
that
used this
we
in the
had
full circle
together.
last week. And this is unbelievable. It's connected to the heart center. It's a meditation and a breathwork tool. But I use this over my clients, again, depending on what they need. So I intuitively pick sound instruments based on that client. But this one I feel is like for everybody. This literally is just a holder for it. This piece comes out. Because the heart is the bridge, it's the gateway to the energy flowing up and down. So if the heart is closed, it's going to affect your occipital bones, your craniosacral fluid flowing up and down the sacrum if the heart is blocked. It's all tied together. But in this moment that I am blowing it, I'm not having any thoughts. I'm connecting with the breath, and it brings you to the present moment.
And again, as you do that, those are simple tools
Simple
to have for yourself to use a little bit every day.
Just a little bit every day.
That's why I like the simplicity of those
Me
tools.
too. I love
We
it.
all have something. I'm not a musician, but when I started using more of those simple tools, you can use it through your day when you have a moment when you need to be feeling your mind needs to stop from it, like you did when you had to blow it. You stop thinking.
So
and
ideally,
find your tools.
You pick a number of what I always do.
I
6
like
because 6 is the resonating with the heart. But again, it's called the Love Tuner. Deepak Chopra helped me find it. He did a post about it maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And I ordered one right away because it takes you into a meditative state. The idea is inhale in, and then as it's going out, you're following the exhale with it. So
nice.
Sound is medicine.
Sound is medicine.
I think that's the message today.
Yes,
And
it's all energy. It's sound is medicine. And I again, because I took some classes about those tuning forks a few years ago, there was one other thing about silence as well. And silence, it's music as well.
When the musical notes are saying that silence is what allows the music to be played. It has to have that silence in the middle of it. Wow.
And it's good to remind ourselves. So
Yes,
I like
yes,
when
yes,
you
yes,
said sometime during your session we play music. We don't have to. We can be having those floating moments in different ways. So
well, that's what I like. I think when
silence is as well good. Don't be actually in silence and closing our eyes, we can go more inward, I would say.
And that's why I think back when I first started doing acupressure, you go to school, like you went to therapy school, craniosacral therapy and massage therapy schools, and you follow, when you first come out, you follow to the letter what they say to do. But even within that, you have to find your own voice.
Exactly.
So the acupressure that I do today is different than the acupressure I started with 20 years ago.
Yes.
It's markedly different because now I'm in a different place energetically. I've really connected with my energetic force, my external, my internal, so that shows up in the session now. It's very, very cool. There was some guilt at first, because I think about my beloved teacher and who I trained with, but I'm okay with it because I am seeing the results. This is how we need to approach literally our days, our weeks, our months. You can't stick yourself into because you've always done something this way.
And your techniques are your foundation.
Yeah.
But like a dancer, I love freestyle.
Yes.
We're doing freestyle, and mostly because each person on our table is different, you're having this new choreography with them. And that's how I see it now. I just by being present and listening, we are just
waltzing today? Are we doing the mambo? Like, what's happening?
We are the provider. We are the link in between all of that. That's what it is. So thank you.
It's very sacred. It's very sacred to be able to be a part of it. And when I scroll back, it's like, asking your why is very popular. What's your why? Without having that naming culture back then, I sat with myself and it's like, why do you want to become a yoga teacher? Because I said, and it's like, why would anyone want to come to your class? Who the hell are you?
Because you have your gift and your own.
But I had to answer that question, what came up, and it usually comes out of our own healing. Yoga healed me as a human being. I was going through so much in life. And so I just said, I want to share this and I want to help people heal. And I have stuck with that. So I talked to a woman a few months ago, and she was a marketing coach. She says, well, you got to figure out your why. She's kind of snarky with me. And I said, I know my why, and it's not changed. And that's one thing that's not changed.
And
everything that I talk about, everything that I'm interested in, is to share information and to help people heal.
And it's beautiful. And I think my whys, I found out this therapy, this craniosacral massage therapy, helped me. So we are passionate because we used it. We went through our dark times, and those tools helped us. And this is our work, and we are passionate because of that, because we're breathing them.
Yes, living and breathing.
And it's amazing. We did sound therapy. It sounds amazing today.
Yeah.
It rarely rained in Los Angeles.
And it's
guess
pouring.
what?
It's
pouring, and we're having sound bath.
Sound with the rain bath. I love that. We're having a rain and sound bath with the rain.
I mean, not to brag about it, but usually it's sunny, and today the gong or whatever called the rain. We are happy. It's raining.
Rain dance. Not to mention the drums.
I wanted to say a special thank you to Julia in Germany. We reconnected. She does amazing work. She does craniosacral for horses and animals. So hi, Julia.
Julia, that is
we
amazing.
Will do probably us together a live next week. We're talking about it.
That's fascinating.
But I want you to meet her, probably online for now. But hi, Julia. Amazing work again with animals.
Wow.
And hopefully, I'm sure she's using sound therapy. Animals, they say they love it. You know when they put music around like a sick person?
Well, the studies are overwhelming now. They are doing studies, especially, rescue dogs that have been gone through trauma. Just even playing certain music for these animals is transforming their lives.
Yes.
So again, our motto is you are your own best self-healer. Yes, you can come to a session, but the session is just part of the picture. when I teach yoga privately, they have homework. It's like, let's continue the therapy. So we're just saying, even if you come for a session, it's a continuum. It's a continual dance of what you need
You're
to
your
continue
own
your healing.
self-healer. We are providing you a moment, and then, of course, you are finding, you're transforming, you're finding your well-being. And all of what we are doing is helping you finding your toolbox.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, everybody,
Wonderful.
for being with us.
Yeah.
So let's give some date. Tomorrow is your. No, I want to. Come on.
Shameless plug. But every month, the third Thursday of the month, I do a sound bath. Of the Women's
And it's
Club.
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
So
And then
whoever comes to, I'm going to give you an advertise. Tomorrow, South Pasadena at the Women's Club, Astrid sound bath.
Yes.
And then
yes.
we have our circle.
It's a great moment too,
Okay,
because we're still in this 11/11 portal energy. We're still in eclipse energy. We just are coming out of the new moon. We still have that new moon energy in Scorpio. We're still in the shadow phase of it. So
It was
it's going to be a
emotional.
powerful night.
I felt it. I'm coming out of that.
This Scorpio,
emotional
and
loop.
Scorpio is a water sign, and it's raining. Thank you, Scorpio.
Thank you. And again, look at our Instagram, because we have dates for the following full circle
So the
together.
next thing, to close out November, we're doing the next full circle.
11:30.
And that one is celebration and stillness. Your favorite word, which is now
I don't know, I like
become my favorite word. No,
We
it's
do.
so important. It's so important.
Together.
I said rest, but stillness to me delivers the point home even better. And that's what a sound bath does. You go into stillness. It's like all you're asked to do is just stop and
Stillness.
receive.
Stillness has a beautiful, again, moment for yourself. You're not in a sleep, so it's different. You're not
Yes.
dreaming. You are present, but for me, actually, the stillness is having this floating sensation and everything. You really feel your body healing.
You feel the
Your
mechanisms
mechanism.
moving though. When you pay attention, our bodies are vibrating like this on the inside. When you go into stillness, you actually can feel it. And you actually, when you stop talking,
Close your
close
eyes.
your eyes, you close down the senses, you can actually feel your
Your
life
nervous
force.
system.
Mhm.
Everybody has different sensation. I don't know why. I'm very aware of my nerves. Maybe I'm a fire sign. I really feel that nervous system being in that stillness and happier, and your organs. Again, it's an experience. It's
It sure
beautiful.
is.
So we'll provide that on our full circle.
Full circle.
11:30.
11:30. Well, that's it for today.
Hey, thank you
for
Astrid.
tuning in, everybody.
Thank
We
you.
absolutely love being here. I wish my eyes were better. I want to see who I can wave
We
back
have-
to. Oh, Cynthia, of course, always. Thank you, Mary, for joining. Oh, Mrs. Diva, good to see you, fam. Good morning, beautiful.
And Julia,
Ibu Beauty joined
Julia
us.
said
Oh.
horses love dolphin sounds. So for
Oh,
who
dolphin sounds.
Dolphin
Ah.
sounds. Thank you, Julia.
Yes, thank you, Julia. That's amazing.
And thank you for all my friends and family in Europe, because it's a good time again.
It's a good time for Europe, yeah, because they're at 8 something p.m. right now.
Nine hours difference.
9 hours
so
difference,
I see you. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
yes, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you all for being with us.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you in the next Energy Medicine Conversation.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.